Sam. How's it going? Good to catch up.
Yes, indeed. How are you, Joanne?
Not too bad, no, can't complain. Last time we met, we were in a training ground, weren't we? Just outside. As my dad would say, it's outside Ronald Reagan country, is how he'd describe it.
Yeah, over in Ep.3 and we absolutely frozen. But yeah, good times. It was a great night.
Good
They
times.
inspired us
Yeah,
massively.
and I was going to say, like, you. Oh God, that's very kind. You've had obviously such an incredible like season and career for Tipperary. How basically like how did you come to the decision? Like, what was the process?
Yeah, like it wasn't an easy decision, as I keep saying. It was probably one of the hardest decisions of my life, really. Um, I'd been thinking about it since the Monaghan game. There, we played Galway and Monaghan last year in championship, senior championship. We lost both by a point, but I suppose it was in the back of my head. After the Monaghan game, myself and Shane were due to get married last May, so I kind of said to myself it was nearly going to be the last year of it last year anyway. And then obviously COVID hit. So that changed things up a small bit. So I went into the Monaghan game, obviously not thinking about it or anything. But after that game, then I just felt so deflated. I suppose any of the girls that were in the dressing room would have had a kind of inkling that I that possibly would have been my last game. I suppose I was weak and emotional. I'd say they were like, "What is wrong with this girl?" But I was so emotional, and I suppose we all travelled in different cars that night as well. I actually travelled with one of my clubmates. She's a selector on the team, and I couldn't stop crying the whole way home. She's like, "Why are you so emotional? Like, Joe's not an Ireland final, and you're after losing. You
Uh,
played really well, you're grand." But I just kind of knew. I don't know. I just got that feeling in the back of my head that that could have been the last time I'd give a speech after So it was just really upsetting to me because the girls mean so much to me. And I knew it would be very, very hard to step away. So it was always in the back of my head, let's say, since that game in November. I just knew it was coming to the time that I had to make a decision, kind of finalize that decision. So since kind of beginning of January, I was part of the interview process for the new manager for Tip, and I always said that I wanted to set the girls up with someone that I'd be happy with. So I became part of the interview panel, and we got sorted with Declan Carr, a great man. And I just said, right, I need to make a decision now. So I sat down with Dad. I suppose he knows me inside out, and I trust him a lot. He's been at every single game, challenge match, games up in the north, everywhere. So he knows me, and he knows my ability as well. And I do trust him a lot. Like, and we just sat down and kind of did the kind of pros and cons or usual. As the tears just dropped, and I was like, they were just, I was just an emotional wreck. I could be fine one minute, I could start crying another minute. But yeah, no. So we just sat down. We chatted about it, and then I suppose I rang the new manager. I told him my decision. He wanted me to go away and think about it again. So back to square one, back to the kitchen table again with Dad, and we're like, we've been through this. And like it wasn't a fast decision, it wasn't an easy decision, and like a lot came into it. And to be honest, Joanne, when I was thinking about it, like a lot of it, I know football, I love football, and that's my sport. But the hardest part of it really was stepping away from the girls and the friendships that I've made, and just that
yeah.
camaraderie with them, and the atmosphere that I that is at training. I suppose it was small but different last year with the COVID. Like, there was a lot of protocols in place, and you were just literally in training, out of training. There was no kind of laughing and messing around before or after training. It was very kind of straight in, straight out, and same with the matches as well. Like, there was no meals or anything before and or afterwards. So that kind of took the fun out of it a small bit last year. But look, it wasn't an easy decision, as I said, hard decision of my life. But I felt that the time was right, and I suppose I can look back on all the memories and be content with what I've achieved with Tipperary in the blue and gold. And I suppose there'll be long life friendships too. So I'm so grateful for it all.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, like you just mentioned, like what you achieved. Like, I mean, you were captain in 2019 and then 2017. Where you beat Tyrone and Meath. Like Tipperary had risen through the ranks. Like when you were there, like you saw them when they were. I'm not going to say rock bottom because Division Three isn't rock bottom essentially, but it was. You basically saw them like come true. Like I suppose talk about the contrast from when you started versus I suppose where you leave them now.
Yeah, I suppose, look, I started back in 2018. 8, I was 16 years old, so I was very, very young joining the panel. I was absolutely over the moon to get the call to join the senior panel. That year is actually, we were intermediate, and then we won the All-Ireland that year. I was 16, all the way up in Croke Park. I said, geez, this is great. Like, does this happen every year? Here we are up in Croke Park, my first year in the panel, delighted with life. So, like, as you said, I've been through it all, the ups and downs of football and sport in general, and like the joy, the heartache, everything. And look, the last 2 years have been incredible. As you said, I was captain there the last 4 years, and it's an absolute privilege and honour to captain your own county team, and to walk the steps of the Hogan stand twice is just brilliant, and so special to me that I was able to do that. And I know my family were very proud, like, whatever about being a player, but I suppose getting chosen to be captain is special, and it meant a lot to me. And because they're such an exceptional bunch of girls, anyone could have been captain. I suppose that's only really a tag as well, like, it too, but it meant a lot to me. And I suppose, yeah, we came up from Division 3, and then we won Division 3, won Division 2, and we're competing very well now in Division 1 of the league, and same with the championship. We were intermediate. I suppose we went up senior. We were very unfortunate. It was in 2018 where it's kind of, they said that we were kind of in the group of death, let's say, between Kerry and Donegal,
Yeah.
and lost both those games very, very, by like very small margins. And we're unfortunate then. I suppose, look, the confidence was down. We lost the 2 relegation battles in between against Waterford and Cavan. And I just will never forget the heartache that day, like, losing against Cavan. Like, it was just, I'll just never forget it. There's a picture there of Dad running out to the field to me because he just knew how distraught I was. So it was hard getting back in 2019, but at the same time, I'm so stubborn that, and the girls are too, that we wanted to go out and prove a point, like, that we did belong in the senior ranks. And that's kind of was our goal for the year, get back up to senior. And we did that with Bet Mead in 2019. I think we had an excellent year, and playing in Division 1 of the league that year really stood to us as well, and prepared us for the championship and intermediate. And there is a huge gap between Division 2 and Division 1 and intermediate and senior, and it's I suppose you learn from the mistakes that we had in 2018 championship and senior, like, just the small things, tactical, just cynical, just being a little bit clever on the ball, like. And we brought that with us there last year, and I know the girls will learn from the experiences last year again and bring them with them into this year's championship. There's extremely young panel, like, but I know for sure they'll be guided by a lot of the leaders on the team.
When was it, like, officially hit home for you that you were, I'm not going to say not a part, because I think you're still going to be a part of Tipperary anyways. But, like, I know for a lot of people now, it's like the WhatsApp group is like the big thing at the minute. Like, when you hit leave on the WhatsApp group, like, that's the, I don't know, like, the
Yeah,
realization.
no, you're
Like,
right.
when was it officially for you? Was it when you made all the phone calls?
Yeah, like, that was the hardest part of it. Like, I kind of had my mind made up with it, which a week or so, like, fully made up. Like, after myself and Dad had kind of sit down, chat about it, blah blah. But it was actually for me to actually say it out loud. I was able to text it because that's easy. Like, but actually saying it out loud, I just was not able. So that was really hard for me. And as you said, it was a WhatsApp group, so I wanted to tell the girls before anyone told. So I suppose when I made the phone call to the manager, that was it. Like, I was like, no going back here. And then I met the chairman, and then I was like, I need to tell the girls straight away. Now, a few of them had an idea, all right, that I had been thinking about it, like Maloney and Curly, that have been on the team, and Lauren, that have been on the team with me, and the nearest to my age, which they're not very near to because they're extremely young, but they're the next, let's say, eldest. So they kind of had an idea, and then one of the girls actually texted me on the Sunday because I hadn't been at training. She said, Sam, you okay? You never miss training. You're always first there. I was like, yeah, I don't know. She's thinking about a few things, She's like, right, okay, that's definitely a bit strange. But no, I put a big long message into the girls' WhatsApp group then the Monday night or Tuesday night. Was it the Monday night? Yeah, Monday. And told them, and I just left straight away, Jan, because I couldn't cope with it. I was bad way as it was. So I was just left, and to be fair, every single girl texts me individually, so that was so nice to do, and I've got such nice messages and support since, like, it's incredible. I'm absolutely blown away by people's kind words, like, and I appreciate so much. It's just unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like when I saw the news, like Gina, the girl that was with me that night at Tipperary training, like she was sitting next to me and she said like I looked like, I don't know, she was like, you audibly gasped, like I literally went, and then she was like, what's wrong? And I was like, I don't think, because she's not into football, so she was like, whatever,
Okay.
like, so I was like, I don't think you'll remember her, but I was like, one of the girls was like retiring from Tipperary, and she was like, is it the blonde one? And I was like, yeah, and she was like, I just saw it on your phone, I recognized her, and I was like, yeah, she's gone, and she was like, Joanne, she's not dead. She's not dead. I was like, I know that, but it's still weird. Yeah. Like what?
Yeah.
Like obviously you're a spectator now, I suppose. Hopefully with COVID and stuff. What are you obviously hoping for Tipperary? Like you mentioned, they are getting a lot more competitive than say your first rap at senior. But what's your hope now for the girls?
They have so much potential. Like, and you know what? They never fail to surprise me. Like, anything could happen with them. Genuinely, like, if they won the Brennan Martin Cup this year, I actually would not be surprised. They're just a crazy bunch of girls, and they're capable of anything. They just need to believe in themselves. And I think if every single one of them put their mind to it, and work on their weaknesses, which everyone has, I think there's a serious future there for them, and they have so much ready and waiting for them, and they just have to grab it with both hands. Even this year, like you can see, we just lost by by a point in both matches, and we're seriously competitive. And I think there's a few girls back from injury now as well, and I'm sure they're after freshening up the panel again to fill my old boots. But they have such potential, and I can see them winning a Munster Senior Championship be fantastic in the next year or two. It's something that I've always wanted, I suppose, and I've always wanted to play in Páirc Uí Chaoimh. And we had a chance to play them there against Cork. We won it and all. The league there, was it last year? Jeez, my years are all.
Oh, it was in Parky Ring, yeah.
Yeah, we were supposed to play in Páirc Uí
Yeah.
Chaoimh, and it was
Yeah.
the pitch was flooded, or it wasn't anyway. It wasn't playable. But I was like, just the one chance we get, because even if we played them last year or the year before, whatever, it would have been our home game, so we wouldn't have got the chance. So no, I'd love to have played in Páirc Uí Chaoimh, but sure, look, we might get there's a chance at some point to walk it. But I know there, as you say, coming back to your question, there's a serious future for them, and they're an extremely young panel. My God, sure, I was the oldest by a country mile, like, so they kept me young to a certain point.
And what do you hope? Do you hope to get? Obviously, you're still going to play with your club. Do you hope to be involved, maybe like coaching underage, and hope work up that way, or are you just happy to go away club ball for the time being?
I'm after being poached already to get in with the under 14 club girls. So I'd say Derek O'Mahony used to actually train me when I was under 14. He was like, you'll have to come back in with me there at the under 14. I know his young one is playing Emer, so I'll help him out, no bother. And definitely play along with my club, Arfin. I suppose I owe them a lot of commitment as well. When you're playing county, it's very hard to train with both. And it'll be great to get back down there and give them my commitment that I haven't been given in the last number of years. So I'll do a bit of the under 14s. They might teach me a thing or two. And as I said, I'm building a house at the minute, so I better start picking out a bit of furniture, or I will be sitting and sleeping on the floor. But other than that, I'm sure I'm after signing up. Of course, I can't sit still for 2 minutes. So I've done the Jim Madden program there with the WGPA. Absolutely brilliant. Loved every single bit of it. So there's an kind of an add-on course, special purpose in leadership. So I've actually signed up for that. Sign my life away. Little did I know it was a 10,000 word, I think, at the end of it. But look, we'll get there. I'll lab on and I'll get there. But so that'll keep me busy, and like it's something I absolutely loved it there last year doing the Jim Madden. So it's very, very interesting, and you're working with really like-minded people, you know, like with great determination, I suppose, and they've all been in the county setup as well, so they know what it's all about. So that'll keep my mind occupied for a while. And I suppose I don't want to overwhelm myself with too much either. Like, you know, I have a good old jigsaw outside as well, a load of Disney jigsaws, so that'll keep me frustrated as well. So that's kind of a new hobby to keep mind off things. So fear of me now being bored.
I was going to say, well, hopefully we won't, you be on the sideline maybe hopefully sooner rather than later, or if not, you'll end up, being involved probably with the pushing forward of the women's game. But Sam, it was so great to talk to you. It's such an honor to meet up again with you. I definitely really enjoyed going to Tipperary training, even if you did nearly beat Cork the weekend after, which nearly broke me in two. I was like, oh my God, who do I root for? But more importantly, thanks so much for your time. And even
Oh,
though it's a
bother.
little meme in our club of captain, leader, legend, I think you literally are the epitome of captain, leader, legend. So best of luck with everything you do, and hopefully we talk again soon.
Thanks, Joanne.